Welcome to Mics, Lights, and Cameras. It has been a while since I posted on this channel. In fact, I had about given up and couldn't quite bring myself to just shut it down. And I got to thinking, well, there's a lot I could share with the newbies. If you're somebody who's an audiophile and into videos in a big way, there's not probably much I can teach you, but if you're kind of new in this, I could probably give you a hand. So today I'm going to talk about one of my old favorites in terms of recording, and I do a lot of recording between the Bible studies my wife and I do, and the videos I make for Beat Diabetes, and just so many things, both video and audio. I just record all the time, and this is one of my favorite friends to help me with my recording. This is called a Podtrak P4, and some of you are saying, Dennis, you're late for the party. That thing's been out for 5 years or more, and they've even got a newer version now, and that's all true. But there are some things that are so good, they work so well, that you just can't ever imagine upgrading to the next latest, greatest thing unless it just breaks down, and these just won't break down on me. They just last and last and last. They're like the ever-ready energy bunny, so they just go on. And I, after a while, when I have a tool, a device, a car, whatever, that just keeps working and working year in and year out, I get to like it a lot, and it has won my admiration. This certainly has. Podtrak P4. What is it? Well, it is a preamp and a recorder. You can send an XLR signal into your recorder, which is this, and then it will pump up the gain as much as you need it to, and it just does such a great job that until this breaks down, I just can't imagine buying anything better, newer, or anything like that. So let's talk for just a few minutes why I like this so much. Number one, great sound. It sounds like Dennis. It just sounds like me. No noticeable degradation of sound at all. Just sounds like me. And I know what I sound like because with all the audio and video that I record and edit constantly, I know precisely how my voice sounds, and this sounds like me. So good sound quality. Second, very reliable. I've used this thousands of times, and I think I can only remember a couple where something happened where it wasn't quite perfect. And even those 2 times, out of probably a couple thousand or more, may well have been my fault, because it seems like with this, you've got to make sure that your batteries are strong. So I never want to record with this unless it's at least showing a fairly strong battery. But it is very reliable, and just I don't have to worry. And, a lot of people, the audiophiles, they'll tell you should use headphones. You see all these guys doing recordings with headphones on. I never use headphones, or almost never. I just take it by faith. This thing is going to work, and it does. Over and over again, time after time after time, and I don't worry about the headphones. Another thing I like about it, it's got plenty of gain. Some microphones are what they call hot mics. They're very high-powered, and they've got a lot of gain, and you have no problem getting a signal that's loud enough. And there's others that are they're low in gain, and you've got to pump it up. And if you don't have a good, strong preamp, you won't be able to pump it up very well, and if you do manage to pump it up on your computer as you edit, you'll have a big old hiss. And this one provides quiet, clean gain, and you can set it at the right level, and it's working. And by the way, I'm using this now. You say, no, you're not, Dennis. It's not plugged in. Well, the thing of it is I have 2. I like this so much. I bought this, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, shortly after it first came out. And then after a couple of years, I bought a second one just to have as a spare. And we've got upstairs recording and downstairs recording. So I've got this one labeled up and one that's labeled down. But plenty of gain. There's no mic you can hardly buy that it won't work for, and it won't work with, and it won't provide you enough clean gain. It's got the 4 XLR inputs, which is another positive. If I want to have 4 people that I'm going to record, and I almost never do that. Usually it's just Benedicta and me, or just me, but we have had as much as 4, at least once that I can remember. We had 3 one time, but usually it's 2 of us, and sometimes just 1. Anyway, you've got the room if you want to do a recording of 4 people, to use 4 different mics. But there's one thing that I have to say that doesn't get mentioned. I watched a lot of reviews on this earlier. I haven't watched so many lately because there's a newer version. But the reviews I watched, they don't usually mention what I feel is its greatest strength. And what is the greatest strength of this recording device? Is it the sound? No, lots of recorders will give you great sound. Well, is it the gain? That's one of the better ones. But still, there are quite a few preamps and recorders that can give you pretty good gain. But the thing that really won me over is the fact that it has a limiter that works perfectly and doesn't color the sound. Now, when my wife Benedicta and I do Bible studies, my voice is pretty easy to set the proper gain to, because it's pretty steady all the way through, but her voice is all over the place, and there's no changing her, nor have I even tried. That's just who she is. She is Benedicta, and so a lot of times I'll ask her a question, and she'll start out very softly. And then she'll get into the subject a little bit and get kind of moderately loud. And then sometimes she'll get all excited, or she'll start laughing and it'll go through the roof. And it's almost impossible to set the gain for her. If you set it at too loud to catch those quiet moments, then it'll go way off the charts when she starts laughing or gets really excited. And vice versa. If you set it too soft so that the laughing won't go off the charts, then when she first starts talking after being asked a question, it's just painful. So I a lot of times have to play around. But with this, it will limit her, and a lot of times her levels will be up so high, you'll look at it on the computer, you'll know immediately she got too loud, or this wasn't set soft enough. But somehow the limiter on this recorder is fantastic. It just does a wonderful, wonderful job. And even with a loud laugh, or she's practically shouting or getting all excited and talking very, very loud, this will tame it down, and you'll still have excellent, just about perfect audio. Whereas if it didn't have that good limiter, you wouldn't have that. So to me, that's the thing that won my heart, that it can take someone who's got such a tremendous range of loudness and softness and tame down those loud voices, and then it's easier to raise them. But anyway, this works perfectly for Benedicta. Another thing and is the fact that I can power this with a battery bank. Now, let me tell you, the batteries that you can put in the back of it, they don't last long at all. So you could say, well, that's a real con. That's a real negative, because those batteries, they'll run out in a few hours, and they will. But I can make batteries last for months and months because I never really use them. I use a battery bank, the kind that will charge your phone, and it powers this thing beautifully. So I've got no worries about the weakness of the fact that the batteries themselves don't work so well. The battery bank works beautifully, and I can just use a battery bank, a strong one, charge it up. It'll last for several months before it has to be recharged and give me no problems. Another positive about this, it's portable. It's portable. You can take it. I've taken this one or the other, its brother, I forget which one, out to the park and did an interview. Done that a couple of times. Just run those XLR inputs into this thing, and I usually bring a battery bank along so I don't have to depend on the batteries that go in the back, and it does beautifully. So it is just so good, absolutely so good, that the only way I would ever think about replacing this, as far as I know, now, who knows what I'll be feeling in a year from now, but as far as I know, the only way I could ever see replacing this is if it just wears out and it quits working. Then I'd probably buy the newer model, although the newer model, which is, I think it's called the new Podtrak P4 or something along those lines, the newer model, if you look on Amazon, it has 4.4 stars as an average, 4 out of 5. It's got a 4.4. But the old version of this one that I'm talking about, has a 4.7. So people apparently like this one better than its upgraded brother. Now, the only real con that I can say is you can't really EQ this. You're going to have to EQ in post. You're going to have to do it on the computer when you go around to do some audio editing. So you can't set the highs down or raise up the lows or whatever it is you want to do with your voice. We call it EQing. You just can't do that with this, as far as I know. And if you can, I think I would have figured it out by now. So you got to do that on the computer. I do like to use mixers sometimes because you can do the EQing right there and you don't have to worry about it in post. So sometimes I will use mixers, but for so many cases, and with many mics, I don't need to EQ it anyway. They sound just fine. I've got enough mics and good ones that I don't need to do a lot of EQing. So anyway, consider this or its upgraded brother. And what you definitely need, especially if you don't have a mechanical voice like mine that's pretty steady the whole time, or if you're interviewing someone like Benedicta, or you're doing some kind of a study or conversation with someone who can get way loud and then way soft, you need a device that's going to record with a good limiter. This has it. I mean, I don't know why more people don't talk about this when they review this. I've heard review after review, and hardly anybody talks about the limiter. The limiter makes this baby really shine. So if you can pick it up on eBay or Amazon, right now I think it's selling for about $15 less than the upgraded version, which looks a bit different, but also has some advantages that this one probably doesn't. So saving $15, I don't know, would that be worth it or not? But this thing is outstanding and is one of the reasons I can relax when I go to do a study with my wife, Benedicta. I'm not worried. If she gets all loud and crazy, I don't mind. Yeah, this thing will tame it and fix it, along with so many other benefits. So get yourself a good recorder, a good preamp, and you'll be happy for it.